Grandpa Monty's Muddles, written by Marta Zafrilla, illustrations by Miguel Angel Diez. You might think that it's easy to start telling a story, but it isn't. It really isn't. And I don't want to do that thing when you start by saying, "Hi everyone, I'm Oscar. I'm 7 years old and I'm an only child." No way. I wanted to do something more original. But I can't think of anything better, so all I'll say is, "Hi everyone, I'm Oscar. I'm 7 years old and I'm an only child." See what I mean? You try to get straight to the point, say things just the way they are, and instead things get more complicated. My name is really Samuel Oscar, but everyone just calls me Oscar. And I'm not only 7 years old, I'm 7 years, 2 months, and 10 days old. And for the last 3 months, I haven't been an only child. It's not because I've got a little brother who's crying and pooping all over the place. No, sir. It's because Grandpa Monty has come to live with us. I know. Grandpa isn't like a little brother, but you'll see what I mean. My grandpa isn't very well, and a lot of the things he says and does make him look like a little kid. But let's not get carried away. The best thing to do is to start at the beginning. Grandpa Monty lived alone in a little town after Grandma Louise died. He looked after himself just fine. He cooked for himself, ironed his shirts, and kept the house clean and tidy. But one day, Uncle Andrew found out that in just 1 week, Grandpa Monty had put a chicken in the washing machine, roasted a sweater, and ironed a piece of fish. At first, Mom thought he was doing it to get our attention so we'd go and visit him more often. But when the police called us one day to tell us Grandpa was trying to open a tree with the keys to his mailbox, she got really worried. Grandpa Monty wasn't well, and he needed our help. Uncle Andrew was out all day, so Grandpa came to live with us because we could look after him and keep him company. Dad's office was turned into Grandpa's bedroom, and soon the smell of lavender and tartan blankets replaced Dad's shelves, books, and files. The fact is, our schedules work perfectly. When Mom and I are at school, Dad looks after Grandpa, and when Dad goes to work, we're already at home, so Grandpa is never alone. But, of course, we can't be looking out for him all of the time, and though we even leave the door open when we go to the bathroom, sometimes Grandpa Monty gets up to all sorts of things. The worst thing about Grandpa's illness, as you'll realize, is that he mixes up towels with napkins, gloves with socks, and biscuits with medicines. If we all keep an eye on him, we can make sure he doesn't tread on Yoko, our cat, or try to turn on the TV with an eggplant, although sometimes that's funny. What's really sad is that, little by little, he seems to forget which words to use. At first, I thought it was my fault, and that he was forgetting them so that I'd learn them. But Mom explained to me that it wasn't that. He was just forgetting them, and it had nothing to do with me. The doctor says that to exercise your memory, it's good to read the newspaper every day, look at old photo albums, and to do math where you add up and take away. Every afternoon, Grandpa helps me with my homework, and then I help him with his, so that way I learn and he remembers. Every afternoon, we look at photos of when Mom was a little girl, photos of Grandpa Monty when he was young, of Uncle Andrew, Auntie Christine, cousins Jennifer, Peter, Irene, Oliver, and Michael. He repeats the names belonging to all of the faces, and I've ended up memorizing them too. To stop Grandpa Monty from getting in a muddle, one day when Mom went to the doctor, I covered the house with notes with the names of things. I began with all of the things that started with S: sweater, stool, sink, salt shaker, sandals, and then all of the words that started with C: couch, car, cracker, cookies. And then the ones that start with M: melon, mousetrap, mantelpiece, milk. The last letter I used to write on the notes was Y, for Yoko and yell. The cat wasn't too happy about having her name taped to her tail, and when Mom saw Yoko jumping around in the house full of notes with thumbtacks and tapes, she yelled. She yelled a lot. Fortunately, Dad let me off easy, saying that although making holes all over the house wasn't the best idea in the world, I'd been trying to help Grandpa Monty. But I wasn't allowed to watch TV, and I had to pick up all the notes I'd stuck all over the house. I kept the thumbtacks and tape, and I put the notes with the words on them in an empty photo album. The next day, I gave Grandpa his first word album, which was really a mini dictionary with the words from around our house. Unfortunately, Grandpa Monty isn't getting any better. Every day he remembers fewer names and fewer things. Yesterday, he didn't recognize me. Instead of calling me Oscar, he began to call me Pumpkin, even though my head isn't that big. But every afternoon, we keep doing our homework. This week, I'm making him an album with the names of the states and their capital cities. Now I can go over what I learned at school, and Grandpa can exercise his memory. Do you make albums with everything you learned, too? My Grandpa Monty is a bit confused. He puts the chicken in the washing machine. He gets towels mixed up with napkins, gloves mixed up with socks, and he's always forgetting my name. To stop things from getting worse, he's come to live at our house. I'm glad he's with us, although I keep getting into trouble trying to help him. I'd do anything to stop my grandpa from forgetting things. Anything. What about you? What would you do for the people you love? Memory loss affects large numbers of elderly people. Love and understanding are often the best tools for dealing with this problem. And who better to help than a mischievous grandson? In Grandpa Monty's Muddles, the problem is seen from a humorous perspective, since when things get difficult, a smile is always the best solution.